Hey guys, Kanita Born-Prasit here with Spike City, home of Ronin Volleyball. Today we're going to talk about how to improve your serving by addressing the 3 most common pitfalls with serving. Number 1 would be your tension in your hand when you strike the ball. A lot of times when you're first learning how to serve, it's usually too loose. Number 2 is your follow through. When servers strike the ball, they usually veer in, which leads to a lot of errors. And so we'll help address you staying on track with that. And the last one will be your spacing. Often, a lot of times servers toss the ball too close to themselves and don't have the room to strike the ball, so we'll talk about addressing that. Anyhow, we'll go over those 3 cues to prevent those problems when you serve and make you a much better server and competitor in the game of volleyball. All right, so the very first common pitfall with serving, as I mentioned before, is tension in your arm and your hand. So volleyball, the blessing and the curse is that you can change the tension in your arm when you strike the ball. Usually like a sport like tennis or badminton, when you use a racket, the tension on the racket is not going to change for the most part from contact to contact. Whereas in volleyball, it really can change from not flexing at all to 10% flexing, 50% flexing, or 80% flexing. So what you want to do to learn, it's very important that you keep everything at 80% tension. So that would be your chest, your shoulder, your arm, and your hand, okay? So what I mean by that is, as soon as you toss the ball, you want to flex to 80%, okay? Keep on 80% until you're done striking the ball. So toss, swing, hold, 80%, okay? That will help your muscles figure out how to quickly learn the right tension you need at impact. When you've done this 10,000, 20,000 times, no problem, your muscles already know what they're doing. It's almost exactly like riding a bike. You don't need to remind your muscles how to ride a bike. So once your body figures it out, it'll know to contract at that time, 80%. But until then, it's way faster if you just contract and hold at 80% once you toss the ball and keep it right through to post contact. Exactly like this. Okay? And again, it doesn't matter where the ball goes. It can go under, over, side, and even hit somebody. It just matters that you're keeping your tension at 80%. Your muscles need to remember what to do, okay? Anyways, that would be your first big pitfall to avoid. Okay, the second most common pitfall is the follow through. A lot of times when servers strike the ball, they strike the ball and it usually veers in, which means if you're hitting the ball, and it veers a little soon, you'll hit inside of center, which is a big problem. So to avoid that, you want to make sure you're following straight through the ball. So strike the ball and go straight through, okay? So another way to look at it is like a golf slice. If you're hitting off center, you're going to be slicing the ball like this. So it makes the ball spin like so, and also massively hurts your control, massively hurts your power. And this is a big problem for especially younger athletes who are learning to serve and learning the sport of volleyball and don't have the strength so much yet. So it's really important these techniques are top notch so that everything transfers properly through to the ball. Again, you want to toss the ball, contact, goes through and hold. So I always coach my athletes to go through about a ball width, okay? So when you're doing this, it's not a check swing, so don't strike the ball and pull back. You want to go strike and stop about a ball width after the ball. Remember, calm your finish. It's so important in everything we do, especially serving. So a very good drill for this second cue is to work with a line on the ground where you can toss the ball and pay attention to where your arm finishes. Right on the line. Okay? So swing straight through to the ball. Okay? Making important note that you're not coming across your body. All right, so the third piece we want to talk about is your spacing. So spacing is very important in everything you do in volleyball. Serving, spiking, passing, volleying. In this case, obviously we're talking about serving. So you never want to be, it's almost like punching. If you're too close to somebody, you won't punch them well. It won't do very much to them. Same thing as kicking. In soccer, when the ball is close to you, you would just kick it up to create more room to properly kick the ball. A ball too close to you won't be struck well by a kick because you simply don't have enough room. is very difficult in volleyball because when the ball's in play, you can't adjust the ball. You have to adjust yourself. So a nice drill is to toss the ball straight up and catch it with the same hand at full extension. This means you'll have enough room when you toss. There's a nice case where it's not good. So toss, catch, full extension. Toss, catch. That'll help you. So another big tip is making sure that you're turning your shoulder, your toss in front of your hitting shoulder. You prefer the ball in front of your shoulder, serving and spiking, or outside your body. These are healthy spots to connect with the ball. Inside your body, which is what most servers will err with, it's really tough to contort your swing and strike the ball well when you have to swing inside to get the ball. It's very important you give yourself room out there. So 12 o'clock on your shoulder or 1 o'clock is good, okay? From a side profile, it'll look like this with your toss, up, down. This is how much room you need. So essentially what you would need to do is just take a nice generous step forward and strike the ball. All right, so to summarize, the 3 big common pitfalls that you can work on to address your serving is number 1, tension. Number 2, follow through, making sure it's straight versus veering to the side. And number 3, spacing. These 3 areas, improving them, will allow you to be a more consistent server and ultimately build your confidence and properly and consistently getting the ball over the net. Beyond that, as it continues to improve, you'll be able to start choosing where you want to serve, putting the other team in more difficult situations, aka applying pressure, and eventually bringing you up to a jump float, which will allow you to apply even more pressure because you contact the ball at a higher contact point. Thus, you can strike the ball forward and make it more difficult, adding more velocity and way more challenges for the reception team. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the video on serving. I hope if you found it valuable. Post a video of your progression online with the hashtag below. We'd love to see your progression and how you've taken your serving to become more consistent. And stay tuned for more videos on how to improve at volleyball. That was the best one. Ready? Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh. Cut.